Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's final video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's final video. Day 10 will take us to the 9th of October. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with the GFS and ECL Ensembles over around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS P2 at the end of the video. For October itself, I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say that first video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast, and also released every Friday as well. Please check out those two vids if you'd like to do that. Like, share, subscribe on all today's videos and content. And thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. There's no Friday night live stream tonight because I'm having the night off. I'm going to be cinema to see The Exorcist. Projectile vomiting, head turning, all of that stuff tonight. So no Friday night live stream this week. It will be back next Friday, however, but I'm giving my next door neighbour Claire the night off tonight. Anyway, let's crack on with your 10 to 14 day. Thank you so much everybody for tuning in. Got two tropical storms now. We've got Tropical Storm Philip just here, and we've also got Rina just there. Let's deal with Philly first of all. So that one is giving maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour with a minimum central pressure of 1,003 millibars. Forecast to stay as a tropical storm and be meandering around the place and then moving northwards. So by Wednesday in that position. Doesn't look like that one's going anywhere fast. And they've got Rina, again, giving maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour with a minimum central pressure this time 1,003 millibars. Rina is giving maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour, as I say. And moving north-northwestwards at 5 miles per hour. Clicking on Rina. We can see this one also going to be heading northwards as a tropical depression by the middle of next week. So both of those tropical storms are actually going to be going north in that direction. So we should wait and see what comes of them. You know, we'll keep you informed. Central temperature updated again today, so we are still sitting officially at 17.3, 3.8 degrees above 61 to 1990 average, with just a couple more, well, today and tomorrow to go, and then we'll know whether we've come in at 17 degrees or not. These are GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles, and it could wait on at Birmingham today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Brum. We're starting off around to ever so slightly below average today. Going to get warm up over the weekend, then go a bit cooler in the early part of next week, then warming back up again later next week. Into the second week of October, we've been talking about this in videos over the past week. We might be seeing a cooling trend here, going down close to or even perhaps a little bit below average precipitation wise. Probably dry weather through the first week, but there will be some showery bursts there as we go through the weekend into the beginning of next week. Then we're drier again though later next week, but the second week of October perhaps not only showing a cooling trend but also showing a more unsettled trend as well. So the second week of October might be turning cooler and wetter there. Temperature anomalies from the 29th of September to 7th of October around to ever so slightly above average. Precipitation anomalies from the 29th of September 7th of October, more or less dry than average in most places. The latest Windflow Map from earthnoschool.net shows that we've got high pressure south and low pressure to the north today, and we're bringing in the wind from off the Atlantic. Latest Windflow Map from earthnoschool.net shows that we've got low pressure to the north and high pressure south on Monday, basically the same setup we're in today. We push a trough of low pressure through during Monday to Tuesday. It can take some showery bursts with it. Then high pressure rebuilds into the second half of next week. That's a look at the end of UK Met Euro with the next area of low coming in from off Atlantic, that's bringing wind and rain to northwest, but mostly dry still, relatively warm in the south. Icon once more with the high pressure south, low pressure to the north scenario for Monday. Trough moves through during Monday to Tuesday, bringing showery rain with it, and then high pressure builds up from the south through the last stages of next week. And I'll pull up some really quite warm air with that area of high pressure as well, centred over France. Another push of heat from the south, taking plus 15 Celsius isotherm back into the country. That is exceptionally warm for the 6th of October. Wow, wow, wow. GFS midnight run, all much of a much through the early part of next week. Then the high pressure establishing over into the east country. Second half of next week, up comes those southerly winds. There's Rena by the way. Well, I think that's Rena. It might be Philly, but I think that one's going to be Rena. Anyway, through the second half of next week, we pull up that southerly flow. And your upper temperature become very warm, if not hot, really, for the time of year. This is Saturday, 7th of October, week tomorrow. Again, plus 15 Celsius isotherm is there. It's across England and Wales. Really hot for the time of the year. Goodness gracious me. We start to push the low pressure in later on into the weekend, though. And as we move up towards and go beyond day 10, low pressure then starts sinking southwards with high pressure building away to the northwest. That starts to turn things a little bit cooler with winds pulling into more of an east-northeasterly direction. Heading into the end of the GFS midnight run, where we have some high pressure ridging in the south. That's a cooler ridge though. The low pressure is around Iceland. Is that setting up for a spell of wet and windy weather there? Possibly with that low deepening around Iceland. But GFS 6Z, once again, is looking like this for midnight on Monday. Some high pressure over the continent, low pressure way to the northwest. So a little bit in between, but a little bit on the showery side. That's Tuesday, trough moving through, but bringing showers with it as well. Through the middle part of next week, high pressure builds over to the east of the country. We pull wind up from a southerly, southeast direction, turning warmer through the second half of next week. But not as warm as the GFS midnight run, actually. But nevertheless, we are bringing some warmth into South, but it's still quite unsettled though out to the northwest. As the upper air temperatures for Saturday, 7th of October on the 6th end, they're not as hot as they are on the midnight run. Then low pressure moves in for days 9 and 10. That brings cooler, more unsettled weather with it. Then we start bringing down some sort of a northerly flow there beyond day 10. This is Tuesday the 10th of October. That would be properly autumnal air sinking its way northwards. Beyond that, high pressure centred out to our west, so bringing the wind from like northwest direction, rather on the cool side there, with showery bursts possible heading up towards the end of the 6Z run. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, share, subscribe. If you can show everybody you out, why not drop a comment, let us know what you think about all of our videos, and don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thanks so much everybody for doing that for us. This is the GM. Again, we find that... Oh, by the way, we only need around 50 subscribers now. 50. That's out to 17,000 subs. So if you could give us a sub and tell your friends and family, neighbour, doctor, vicar, mother-in-law, etc., etc., to subscribe, that would be incredible. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. GM, with low pressure over North Atlantic, high pressure over the continent. On Monday, but Tuesday we push trough low pressure in from the Atlantic, bringing showery weather with it. Then we're back to high pressure again through the second half of next week, drawing up more of a southwesterly to southerly type flow. That brings some very warm, if not hot air for the time of year in across the south with plus 15 Celsius isotherm. Then low pressure moves back in off the Atlantic later on into the weekend of 7th, 8th of October, and that takes showery bursts with it and starts to feed cooler air back in from the North Atlantic once again. By day 10, we're looking westerly, cooler and more showery. And then the ECM at WF looks like this. So once more we bring that trough through the country Monday to Tuesday. Then high pressure starts ridging up from the south. That turns things drier and warmer into the second half next week, especially so down in the south. There's the upper air temperature, not as hot as some of the models showing there for Saturday the 7th of October, but nevertheless still a very warm air mass, really. And we get to the end of the ECM run to day 10. We have an area of high pressure building out to our northwest. We're starting to draw in a cooler northerly. Actually, some really quite cold air is sitting just to the north of Scotland there, with minus 5 Celsius isotherm. So that implies that we've got a little bit of a, a little bit of a plunge going on potentially by days 10 and 11, and much cooler air could start filtering in from the north. Autumn's coming, everybody. Eventually, we're going to lose these heat spikes. And inevitably, you know, we've got to go into genuinely autumnal conditions in the end. Haven't we? Have we? Haven't we? Well, we'll see. This is a Precipitation Forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. Quite a dry weather today. More showery rain coming in across central, northern, western regions tomorrow. And then into the early part of next week, further wet weather pushing through, especially focused on England and Wales this time. Then we get that trough heading in off the Atlantic. That turns things drier as the ridge builds behind it. But by the time we get into the end of next week and the weekend of the 6th, 7th, 8th of October, etc., more wet weather is piling in from off the Atlantic. Further showery rain after that. And then we get to day 10, wind pulls into the north-northeast. It starts to turn cooler. These are your top table within the ECM Ensemble Day 4, Day 10. Gets us to the 9th of October from the Icelandic Met-Up. It's 12 members of the ECM Ensembles with high pressure over and to the north of the country. Some cooler air starting to move into that area of high pressure from the north. There, back to control and the operation run 9 with high pressure again to the north and also to the south. We've got another 9 with low pressure to our southwest, high pressure to the east and in the Atlantic. That could be more unsettled and potentially a little bit on the warmer side. 8 with high pressure to the east, low pressure is to the west. That's drawing wind from a southerly direction, but could be quite warm. We've got another 7 with low pressure to the north and also to the east, high pressure to the north and east, I should say, no pressure out to west and upcoming that southerly flow. And then we've got 6 again with low pressure to the north, and with that low we bring rather unsettled conditions in from off the Atlantic. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This will get us to the 14th of October. 16 members of the ECM Ensemble with trough low pressure in Scandinavia and high pressure out in the Atlantic. So down comes those cooler northwesterly to northerly winds. That could be a bit tricky. We've got another 14 going the same direction. High pressure again as the mid-Atlantic ridge going towards Greenland. Trough low pressure in over Scandi. Again, down are coming those northerly influences. Both those options are cooler, I have to say. Interesting. 12 with low pressure to the north. That looks a little bit more westerly. And then we've got 9 here with high pressure to our north-northwest. So around that again, we could be bringing some rather cooler air from the northeast. So yes, we might be looking at a cool down here when we get into the middle of October. Maybe. Finally, CFS V2 for October. This is today's latest 700 millibar height anomaly for October with low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south, and we're bringing wind from off the Atlantic. Like that, the temperature anomaly is above average, particularly so for England and for Wales too. And precipitation-wise, it's rather on the western average side, especially so up in the north. And we're done. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, share, subscribe. Make sure everyone to do that. Why don't you drop a comment? Let's know what you think about all of our videos. And don't get to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Show everyone for doing that. Rather shorter video today. I'm going to get myself ready. Go over the pictures later. Right then. So I hope you enjoyed today's bits and content. Just to say it's coming up over the weekend. Remember, just 55 subscribers, by the way. 55 gets us to 17k, so you could give us a sub. That'd be amazing. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Just coming up tomorrow, we're going to have B16 UK weather forecast. We will have the ECMWF for 2 days slash 6 week look ahead. We'll have the weekend forecast at 10 14 day, and then on Sunday 6 a.m. forecast, and then it's the big one, the big one, 5th winter 2023-24 update. Loads of interesting winter goodness in that one. And then we'll be live streaming at 6 p.m. We'll live stream at 10 to 14 day. We'll have a chat about winter update. And I'm sure we'll throw in a little bit of long range too. How does that sound? That'll be coming up 6 p.m. on Sunday evening. You enjoy the rest of your Friday. And for this video, that's all for now. And thanks so much.